Hello, everyone. Welcome, amateur radio enthusiasts, to another live stream here of Heartland Ham Radio. I'm your host, Michael. My call sign is Alpha Foxtrot Zero Foxtrot AF0F, and I'm coming to you live today from my home QTH here in the Kansas City metropolitan area. Ready to dive into another live stream. It is Sunday morning here in Kansas City, and the bands are not great this morning. There was a pretty big solar flare. The band conditions are listed as poor across all bands. Did a little poking around. I do see some activity on 20 meters, but it is a little rough going out there. So I was seeing some of the posts in the Facebook group for the Parks on the Air. Several failed activations this morning, which means they didn't get 10 contacts in the park. But yeah, we'll see what's going on today. I went ahead and set up kind of a digital setup this morning. So when the band conditions are bad for voice, oftentimes like FT8 and FT4 and some of the digital modes will be good. So we'll see if we can get some contacts in the log today. So with that, let's go ahead and get started. I'm gonna bring this over to the kind of digital view that I've set up here. Kind of walk you through my setup here real quick. I have got a couple of pieces of software running here. So I've got a lot of windows open on my machine, and I'm only sharing a few of them with you. This definitely helps to have multiple monitors, but I'll kind of show you my setup. I am using a very popular software called WSJTX. It's a very popular digital software that works for digital modes. I'm also using a third-party tool that kind of plugs into that called Grid Tracker. A lot of folks use Grid Tracker. That's what is showing the map there. What I love about Grid Tracker is this call roster view, which is on the far left side. I can sort by call signs. I can sort by how strong the signal is. I like this a lot, and it does kind of help me stay organized a little bit because when there's a lot of folks on the digital modes, it can kind of be tough to keep track of what's going on. So I just find this software helps a lot. I've got the HF view, obviously under the webcam here. You'll see us kind of just parked on the digital frequency here for FT8 on 20 meters. But figure I just kind of orient you a little bit with the software in my setup this morning. So I do see some POTA activators on the air this morning. Doing digital modes, I've often heard it referred to as, digital modes can save an activation. And definitely seeing a lot of POTA stations on the air today. There's also the Lewis and Clark Trail on the air event. I think it lasts like 2 weeks or so, where there's clubs that are activating all along the Lewis and Clark Trail. So I snagged a couple of those yesterday. We might see a few of those in here today. So we'll see if we can maybe get a few more states on that. But let's go ahead and dive into it. If you're joining the live stream today, want to pop into the chat and say hello, let me know where you're coming in from. I've got the chat window up here, and we'll say hello to you. So let's go ahead and dive in here a little bit. I'm going to bring up the radio audio just a little bit. I'm not going to actually pipe the audio into the live stream. I'll just see if we can kind of hear it through the studio mic here. So not a lot to hear. You just kind of hear tones and warbles on FT8. So anyway, let's take a look and see what we've got going here today. Give me 1 second here. A couple other windows minimized. I'm gonna go ahead and clear the view. It's been a little bit since I was looking at this screen as I was getting my live stream set up this morning. As you can see here, looking at the waterfall, there's quite a few stations on digital this morning. So even though the quote bands are dead, there's still quite a few people out there, and we are hearing some folks come in here, especially on 20 meters. So on the digital modes, if you've never worked this before, one of the first things we want to do is try and find a transmit slot in here. And you're looking for something where there's not a lot of color or somebody's not transmitting. Looks like there's maybe a little bit of a gap here at 1700. I'm going to set my transmit frequency to 1700. I use the hold TX frequency. That is not a default, but really kind of best practice to hit the hold TX frequency. That way you're not stepping on somebody else's activation or station where they're calling CQ. And then I usually put my receive in. I hit this down arrow here to match my receive, and then allows me to kind of see in this window if it's decoding anything on that transmit frequency. So that's kind of how I have this set up. Since there's a lot of activity on 20 meters today. I've got this set to CQ only. So on the left screen here for the band activity in WSJTX with all the colors there, you're going to see just CQs. There are quite a few. I think there's the grid tracker here showing 99 stations being heard right now just from my station here. So I've got this filter down to CQs so you can just see folks that are calling CQ. Looking at the waterfall here, somebody came up kind of on that 1700. So obviously I wasn't transmitting. So somebody stepped in there. It looks like 2500 might be open. I'll go ahead and step to that. And looks like we've got some folks calling CQ. We'll see if we can get some folks in here. Let's see. AJW, that is North Dakota. I did get another North Dakota station on the Lewis and Clark Trail here. So LCT, CQ, LCT, CQ, Lewis and Clark Trail. That's the event that they're broadcasting with on CQ. So we'll see if we can snag any, see if they can hear me up in North Dakota this morning. Another station kind of on that. There was another decode here that happened on that receive frequency. So we'll see if we'll try here twice and see if we can get them to come back to me. If not, not a big deal. I already have North Dakota in the log. So I think you just need one from every state for the Lewis and Clark event. So for FT8, it's 15 seconds on, 15 seconds off. So they're not coming back to me, so we'll let that transmit. And then I'll go ahead and toggle this enable transmit off. I have my WSJTX set to auto enable and disable transmit after a QSO. I do not let this, I do not let it just run. I like to target my responses and kind of manage it more like I would on sideband or anything like that. So I didn't get a response back from Kilo Zero AJW, which is the looks like an amateur radio club up in North Dakota. So I don't think they're hearing me for the Lewis and Clark event. But I already have North Dakota, so not a big deal. Got a POTA in here. So it isn't too bad. Let's try Kilo India 7, Oscar India Yankee. And here in Grid Tracker, they're calling CQ POTA, but they're not spotted on the POTA page. So you'll see here that's just question marks, that little red line there in the call roster where I'm at here. And that's okay. They may not have data service. They can't spot themselves. When they upload their logs, you'll still get credit for the park. So and I'm going to slide down here. 2450. Looks like somebody was up there on 2500. With WSJTX, it's really important that you have a accurately synced clock. Even like the Windows built-in time sync sometimes is not as accurate. I use a third-party tool to sync my clock. So you may want to look at a third-party application. I use one called NetTime, but there's several out there. And it just syncs it with a little bit more accuracy. You can see here the DT column in WSJTX. That's the time delta, so you can see how far off the clocks are from everybody. But since it's a very specific 15 second, 15 second, 15 second, it's very important that the clocks be synced, or you may be transmitting, kind of out of cycle there. So, all right, Kilo India 7, Oscar India Yankee couldn't hear me, so I'm going to turn the TX off, and looks like somebody may have cropped up here on 2450. See if I can find another open slot here to maybe transmit. Well, it's pretty. Oh, he did hear me. So we'll double click that. Oh, that was the North Dakota station. That was the Lewis and Clark Trail. He heard me at a -2. I'm hearing him at a -15. Just tells you how strong the signal is on the digital modes. I may need to slide up there. I think somebody seeing a little bit of activity on the waterfall for 2450. Slide up here maybe to 2500. kind of hear the tones and warbles. Each one of these columns is a signal. If you look across the waterfall here, this is a normal 3 kilohertz width, so similar width to what you would have for voice traffic. And then you can see all the individual time, and I don't know, time slots, but the frequencies kind of packed into that 3 kilohertz range. So you can get quite a few signals in a pretty narrow amount of space on FT8. I am certainly no expert on FT8 and all the stuff under the covers that makes it happen, but I'll try one more time to get back to the Alpha Juliet Whiskey station. So if you just joined the live stream, the band conditions are not in great shape today. So we're doing a little digital mode here on Sunday morning Heartland Ham Radio. So I got a stream view up here for y'all. What's more digital focused here. So we got Grid Tracker, WS JTX up. And I'll go ahead and halt that transmit for that Kilo Zero AJW. Yeah, Grid Tracker is what provides the map here. So you can see all the grid squares highlighted here. These are stations that I'm hearing. The park icons here on the map are park activators that are spotted doing POTA work. So you can kind of mouse over all of those. This Grid Tracker is just really nice to kind of give you a graphical view of what you're seeing in this normal terminal window. I'm going to go ahead and clear out my receive frequency window here. So you can do that by clicking erase just once. It'll clear out the RX frequency so it starts to get crowded in there. Oh, here's a POTA. Oops, I hit the wrong one there. Hold on. That was a Kilo India 7 Oscar India Yankee. We'll see if you can hear me now. We're just kind of doing hunt and pounce here today. So when you're doing hunt and pounce on digital, you'll often have to shift your TX frequency around depending on if somebody's come up and transmitting. Try 1650. You didn't hear me there. We'll try 1650 here, see if you can hear me on 1650 hertz. If you're joining the live stream today, the band conditions are not in great shape, so we're doing a little bit of digital mode here on Sunday morning. So feel free to pop into the chat. Let me know where you're joining from today. Love to hear from y'all. Ah, we got him. All right. Kilo India 7, Oscar India Yankee. He was able to hear me. He is out in a park. He's calling CQ POTA, although he's not spotted on the POTA page, or that person's not spotted on the POTA page. But that's okay. A lot of times activators don't have internet access out in very remote parks, so you'll still get credit for the park once they upload their logs. I've worked Samuel one other time back in January, and we got a successful QSO there, so sending a 73 back to him. Go ahead and just flag this as a POTA. I don't know his park number, so I'll just mark it in there. I'll go back and maybe grab the park number after he uploads his logs. All right, so we got a POTA this morning. All right, there's another CQ POTA. Let's see if we can catch Whiskey 5 Delta Uniform India. This is Brian. Worked him one other time a couple weeks ago, mid-May, from Mississippi. Looks like he's in Mississippi at Park 0661. I didn't get a response there. We'll try to... Oh, he did come back. He's hearing me at a -5. I hear him at a 0. Not terrible. With my setup, if I can hear somebody all the way down to like -20, 23, 24 starts to get kind of right on the edge. All right, got Whiskey 5 Delta Uniform India, sending him a 73 right now. The nice thing about Grid Tracker 2 for POTA is it will automatically respot them. So if you have the POTA spotting page up, it'll go ahead and mark that you've worked that activator. So that's kind of nice. You don't have to do that yourself. And I know where he's at. So Brian will mark him as a POTA. He was in Park US 0661, and he's in Mississippi. So I got him into the log. I don't have the log window shared on the live stream. Just got enough windows kind of up and going here. I don't want to overwhelm y'all watching the live stream. It's already kind of small here. All right, so we got Whiskey 5 Delta Uniform India. All right, let's see who else is calling CQ here. We'll wait for one more time slot to come through here. There's a CQ. There's a Lewis and Clark, ZRT. And where are they at? They're in... Oops, I already got them. I'm going to halt that transmit. I goofed. I jumped the gun there. Almost grabbed them again. Pay attention to what I'm doing here. Too many windows up and going. Yep, he's coming back to me again. I'll be a dupe for him, but that's okay. I'll go ahead and respond. That was my bad. All right, we got Kilo Papa 3 Lima in the chat. Saying good morning, have fun with the DXs. I don't know if there's much DX today. We'll see. All right, that was my goof. I got W0 ZRT twice. Jumped the gun on that. Need to pay attention to what I'm doing here. All right, see if we can get another CQ. See who else is out there. See, somebody came up on my transmit frequency here, so I don't want to... Need to slide around here. Where can I find an open slot? Looks like maybe 1925 is open. Maybe 1800 would be a little better. We'll try that. All right. There's a POTA Whiskey Foxtrot 1 Bravo. We'll see if we can snag them. Give it a try here. If you're just joining us, pop into the live stream. Let us know where you're joining the live stream from this morning. It's a beautiful sunny day here in the Kansas City metropolitan area, in the middle of the USA. Albeit sunny, the band conditions are not great. If you ever want to kind of see the state of the band conditions, there's lots of places. There's a space weather site. The QRZ page on the main page will link to the band conditions. The WRL, World Radio League, they've got a band condition widget. I like the NOAA space weather radio communications dashboard website. That one's really good. Shows both the D-region absorption, the aurora prediction, all that kind of gives you a good indication of what the X-ray flux, the solar proton flux, and the geomagnetic activity has been over the last 24 hours. Kind of shows you a graph and a chart. So I always check that out. I kind of have that as one of my pinned tabs on my browser. I'll pop a link into the chat for that radio communications dashboard. So I put that into the chat if you want to go check that out. I use that quite a bit. All right, no luck with Whiskey Foxtrot 1 Bravo. Looks like I need to move my transmit frequency here again. Looks like 1700 might be open. Nope, somebody stepped up on that. How about 1000? 1000 looks open. Whiskey Bravo 0, Sierra Foxtrot Tango. That's a local club here in Kansas that is doing the Lewis Clark Trail. I got them yesterday, so I'm not going to bother them again. Here's a POTA Whiskey Alpha 1 Tango Yankee Bravo. And they looks like they're in Montana, potentially, based on their grid square, but we'll see. Sometimes that can be off on their state. Just kind of depends. Grid squares can cross multiple states, so slide my transmit up just a little bit. Looks like there's somebody there on 1000 hertz. I know some of the digital modes, not everybody's thing. I kind of like it. Like I said, I've got my transmit set to toggle off automatically after a QSO, and I got a transmit watchdog timer set, so I have to tell it I want to transmit. It won't auto respond. Like to kind of treat the digital modes like I would voice. But everybody's different and everybody likes their own things. That's one thing great about this hobby is there's lots of different modes and different bands and different technologies you can use, and operate the modes and bands that you enjoy. Life's too short to force something you don't like doing. So did not get a response from Whiskey Alpha 1 Tango Yankee Bravo. No, it looks like he's calling somebody else. Might be trying to respond to somebody else there. Slide my transmit up here to 1850. There's stations out there today. There's another POTA, pretty strong. Let's try Kilo Mike 6 Tango Whiskey India. They're in Park US 1479. Looks like Indiana. Short hop here from Kansas City. Coming in at a -1 signal strength, so -1 dB. That should be reachable from here. It depends on their setup, though, their antenna. Looking solid on the waterfall. We might snag them here. See what the decode shows. Yep. Transmit back to them again. Even on the digital mode, sometimes you got to try a few times, especially when band conditions are a little tricky. If someone's out in a park, things can change just really, really fast, so might have to try a few times. Yeah, you heard me? You heard me at a -2. I'm responding to him with a -1 dB. Looks like there's another couple stations I'm hearing on his receive frequency, so see if we can get through to him. Let's see, this is Alan. Alan in Indiana. Worked him one other time back in April. Worked him on single sideband on 20 meters. All right, he got my RR 73. I'll send him a 73 back. Get Alan logged here. And he's POTA. He's at Park 1479, and he's in Indiana. Kilo Papa 3 Lima asked a question. You running full power? I am. I'm running 100 watts on my FTDX10. My antenna that I'm using is an off-center fed dipole, 40 through 10 meters, mounted just under the eave of my house with the legs of the dipole stretched between two of my fence posts in my backyard. So that is what I'm running. All right, I had somebody come back to me, Kilo Romeo 4, Charlie X-ray Echo from Alabama heard me, sent me a message. I'll respond to him. He's hearing me minus 16. I'm hearing him minus 8 dB. The off-center fed dipole is about 68 feet total length. Works pretty well. I've also got a 20-meter dipole that is up in the attic. Obviously, being in the attic is not super great, ideal, but it does work. That was kind of, I first had a 36-foot end fed that was up there. Then I went to the dipole. I still have the end fed that I take with me for Parks on the Air activations. Albeit I've been using a vertical on my activations lately. So been using the Kilo Juliet 6 Echo Romeo Challenger antenna. It uses a 20, I think it's a 21-foot stainless steel chameleon whip. And then you isolate kind of the connector on it, and you've got a counterpoise that of variable length that works really well. I like that that's a lot more compact and easy to set up. I don't have to stretch a wire between trees. Some parks won't let you put wires up in the trees. Some of the park rangers, park rules won't allow you to do that. So I like having a vertical option that it's easy just to set up off to the side. A little easier to take down too. So thanks for the question there, Kilo Papa 3 Lima. There's a POTA, November Whiskey 8 Delta. Looks like they're in Ohio. The skip is going to be short today. The band conditions the way they are today. Ooh, somebody came up on his transmit frequency. I don't know if he heard me or not. I'll change the span view on this. See a little bit more of the waterfall there. The digital modes on the FTDX10 display aren't as pretty to see as they are in the waterfall view here on WSJTX. I mean, it's only 300 3 kilohertz wide, so it's got to kind of have that zoomed in view. All right, let's see if we can get anybody else here. Kind of struck out on the last two I tried to get back to. There's a POTA, Whiskey 4, Whiskey Delta Kilo. I got them yesterday in a park. What park were they in yesterday? They were in 1321. Yeah, they're in 1321 in Virginia again today. Get them for another day. Oh, he had somebody else going back. I'll just pause here to let him finish that QSO. So grid tracker is showing about 110 stations heard here on 20 meters on FT8. So even though the bands are dead, there is activity, especially here on the digital modes. Did see some posts on the Parks on the Air Facebook group this morning that some activators that were just doing voice only were having a tough go of it with the band conditions. I imagine that is the case. Some of these stations are really weak. Minus 20 dB. It's kind of right on the cusp of, I can decode them. Maybe a little tough. Oh, there we go. We got Whiskey Delta Kilo came back to us. Hearing me at a -9. I'm hearing him at a, he's hearing me at a -11 dB. I'm hearing him at a -9. What mode did I get them yesterday on? I got them on FT4 yesterday on 20 meters. We can check out FT4 too here if FT8 kind of starts striking out here on FT8. All right. Got a successful QSO there, sending him back a 73. Go ahead and get this one in the log. Let's see, POTA, he's at US 1321, and that's in Virginia. So I got them logged. All right, see if we got anybody else here. Somebody coming back to me here. Alpha Charlie 7, Whiskey Yankee. Wyoming. We'll take it. All right. Sending them back in RR73. For whatever reason, I've been playing with the World Radio League connector into N3FJP. Just realized this morning none of my contacts were logging over there. That one went. I just had to restart the listener. So I have to export a couple of these contacts. Make sure my log is lined up in both places. It's all right, we'll just export an ADI file for the ones. All right, see if we got anybody else here. Got a couple CQ, let's see. Somebody came up on 1850. I'm gonna slide my transmit down to 1800. All right, I'm gonna fix this real quick. You won't see this on the live stream. Give me a second here. I'm gonna fix my log situation on my WRL log. Give me a second here to deal with that. I'm trying to keep the logs in sync, so I just don't want those. I think I had 5 or 6 QSOs that were a little bit, for whatever reason, didn't upload. All right, that looks good. An ADIF master. Cool. We'll just go ahead and import those. Put them into the existing logbook. I know you guys aren't seeing this. Sorry, this makes for a terrible live stream. Okay. We're back in business now. I want to get that login sync before I make any more QSOs here. All right. I think it's going. See if those show up now in my logbook. Yes, they're there now. Good deal. All right, I think we're back in sync now. Anytime you're trying to connect multiple logging programs, it gets to be a little bit tricky sometimes. Kind of been babysitting it. I know the WRL stuff is still in beta, so I've been trying to help them out on fixing a couple of things, which they've been super responsive in fixing a couple of things I've reported. So that's been really good. All right, let's see what else we got going here on the bands this morning. While I was fixing that, somebody came up on my TX frequency. I'm going to slide up here to 2400 hertz. Go ahead and erase my receive frequency window here. We'll get a clean view. Let this decode come through and see what we got. There's another Lewis and Clark trail, Kilo 0 Alpha Juliet Whiskey, which is another North Dakota station. Let's see if we can get both of the North Dakota stations. They're at a minus 18 with tough band condition day. That one could be a little bit tough. We'll see. Ah, they did hear me. They're hearing me at a minus 8. See if we can get a successful QSO here. Nope, he didn't hear me that time. He tried again. I'm going to find a backup transmit frequency. It looks like 1800 might be open. I'll slide down to that when my transmit's done here. Try me one more time. Come on, come on. Sometimes on some of these contest and special event stations, their rules kind of 2 transmits, then they move on. We'll see. No hard feelings if, sometimes you just have a busted QSO. It happens on voice too. It happens on the digital modes as well. There we go. He got me. RR73. Good. I'll send him a 73 back. And I got both North Dakota stations for the Lewis and Clark Trail. North Dakota's kind of tough for me here from Kansas City. It was one of my last states for my POTA, worked all states as well. So got a little checkbox going here. I'm just kind of keeping tabs of the Lewis and Clark stations that I'm able to snag. I'd like to snag some more POTAs. I'm going to take a glance at the spotting page on POTA. Filter by digital. It'll show me both FT8 and FT4. Most everybody's here on 20 meters. A few on 17. We could go try that. 20 is going to be our best bet today. Here is Kilo 7, Charlie Alpha Romeo. Kent is a frequent POTA activator on digital. I think I've got more QSOs with Kent here than anybody else on digital for POTA. He's off the grid quite a bit, so he doesn't always have internet connectivity to upload his logs, but he will eventually upload and is good about doing so. I have 65 QSOs according to my AC log here with Kent. Now, he was minus 19, so he's right on the cusp of being able to probably get through to him, but we'll see. If you're joining me on the live stream, good morning. It is 11:38 in the morning here in Kansas City. The bands are a little rough today, conditions-wise. There was pretty good geomagnetic storm going on, so the bands are not in great shape. So we're over here trying digital today. A little FT8 going on 20 meters is what we're doing. Love to have you pop into the live chat and let me know where you're joining us from this morning. I'll answer any questions that you've got. I had some questions earlier today about the antenna and radio I have set up. Always love hearing from folks that are watching the live stream. If you're watching this after the live stream, I'd love to have a comment on where you're listening from or where you watched the archive stream from. All right, somebody came up on 1800 hertz. I'm going to slide down my transmit to 1700. I did not get Kent. He was right at the border. That minus 19 dB that's going to be close. No big deal. We'll get him another time. Let another round of decode come through here. We'll see who else is out there. Oh, there's a POTA. That's one thing I don't like about. Sometimes that screen will jump on you and you double click the wrong call sign. It's all right, fixable. You just halt your transmit and quick go grab the right one you meant to grab. So this is Kilo Foxtrot 8, Bravo Romeo Charlie. They're in US 9739 in West Virginia, Forks of the Coal State Natural Area. Looks like he was just wrapping up a QSO there. Worked Roger before one other time, looks like back in February on sideband. Appreciate y'all joining me this morning here. Oh, you did another CQ. Band conditions are a little rough today on voice, so we hopped over to digital. See if we can catch some parks on the air activators doing digital modes today. I'm on 20 meters doing FT8 right now. And we're currently chasing Kilo Foxtrot 8, Bravo Romeo Charlie. Roger from West Virginia. I've worked him one other time back in February on sideband. And he heard me. Got a successful call back. He's hearing me at minus 11. I'm hearing him at minus 15. Not too bad. He's at Park US 9739 in West Virginia. I was on voice earlier. While there were folks spotted, I didn't hear anybody. I mean, people were saying the bands were rough. It was definitely rough on voice. So I figure if we were going to have any shot at a live stream this morning, it was going to have to be on digital. So got both parks on the air stuff going on. So we're chasing some folks there. And then we've got also the Lewis and Clark Trail on the air event, which is going on the next couple weeks. So trying to snag some states for that. So far, I've got North Dakota, Pennsylvania, and Kansas taken care of. Got a lot more states to go, that's for sure. I'm just going to pop over here real quick to my WRL log and make sure that uploaded. Yeah, good. I got that connection working again. All these times I have to do a live stream on kind of how I have set up WSGTX, Grid Tracker, and N3FJP amateur log. If you've got multiple stations that are trying to control and do logging, there's kind of some tricks to make that happen. You've got to kind of shift over to a multicast address. Can get a little complicated, but I'll have to do a video sometime on how I have that set up. It took a little bit of tweaking to get going, but was able to get it figured out. Works pretty well. Join on the live stream, pop into the live chat, say hello. Let us know where you're tuning in from this morning. Love to say hello to you guys. Well, it's not a POTA. I see a pretty strong station here, November 5, India Foxtrot from Texas. Go ahead and respond to his CQ. New station for me. Looks like it's Greg in Texas. I've not worked Greg's call sign before. See how well he hears me. He's hearing me at -3. Send him back a +1. The grid tracker map is really nice too. You can kind of see a visual indication of all the QSOs you're hearing and your QSO, and just kind of gives a visual feel to an otherwise mundane text terminal window. All right, sending back Greg a 73. So N5 India Foxtrot. Great to get you in the log, Greg. The different colors in WSGTX, you can set that up however you want. There's a lot going on. It's kind of hard to explain, but I've got mine kind of tweaked the way I want it. I also have a API call set to AC log, so I can tell if I've worked the call sign before or not. Saw a POTA up there earlier. Let's see if we can snag another CQ on the POTA. No. See a CQ from Kilo Foxtrot 0, Quebec, India, Sierra. Oh, here in Kansas. Somebody local. Eric. See if we can get Eric in the log. Gonna be ground wave for Eric. He's hearing me -7. Hearing him -7. Send him a response back. I'm gonna take a quick glance at Eric's QRZ page. KF0QIS. Eric is in Olathe, Kansas, another suburb of Kansas City. All right, send him back a 73. Only about a 10-mile jaunt to Eric, so got him ground wave. Wait for him to that transmit to clear. Let's see if we can get another CQ here and get some more QSOs in the log. Grid Tracker will also show, if you've not used it before, in the upper right, it will show you things like activity on the various bands. So you can mouse over it. It gets feeds from PSK Reporter and some other spotting sites. So you can kind of tell how active a band is, which is kind of nice if you're just trying to find some activity really quick. You can look at Grid Tracker. It'll tell you what band there's reported activity on. Kent is still minus 20 there. Wasn't able to get him earlier. Where was he? Scroll up here in the log. He was minus 21. He's not coming up at all, so won't try for Kent there. I'd like to help some of these POTA activators out, get their hopefully get their activations with such a tough band condition day. There's a station super strong. November 5, X-Ray Zulu. Alan from Texas. Not worked them before. X-Ray Zulu. Always like looking at folks' QRZ pages while I'm waiting for QSOs to come through. Looks like he's working another station. I'll stop my transmit. We'll see if he comes back to me and he's done with that QSO. WSJTX, as far as like if you get multiple stations responding to your CQ, you can kind of tell it which ones it prefers. You can either be the first to respond. You can it can calculate the station with the maximum distance, or you can just have you select it manually. So I got mine set to max distance. So if there's a DX station or something, I try to, that propagation could close really fast. So I try to work the furthest station away first. All right, somebody came up on my transmit frequency. I'm going to slide up here a little bit to 1900 hertz. I don't know if Alan is, looks like he's still trying to work that other station. Oh, there, he's wrapping up. There's a CQ POTA from Whiskey Foxtrot 1 Bravo. I tried them earlier. I could not get them. They're coming in minus 19. Again, kind of right on the cusp there of being able to catch them. Waiting for Alan to go CQ again, although he may have moved slots there. I'm not seeing him anymore. It's all right. Thank you everybody for joining me for the live stream Sunday morning here in Kansas City. Guess we got about 10 minutes left of morning, almost noon here Central Time. Slide up my transmit again, 2150. There's a POTA. See if we can get Whiskey 7 Romeo Lima Sierra. Be a new call for me. Have not worked Robert before. Take a peek at their QRZ page. Whiskey 7 Romeo Lima Sierra from Idaho. He had somebody else he's responding to. Somebody came up on my TX frequency here too. I'll slide up to 2500. It looks open. Looks like they're just wrapping up that QSO. See if they call CQ here again. Just for giggles, I may shift up to FT4, which is just up the band just a smidge and see if there's any activity on FT4. I've gotten questions before. What's the difference between FT8 and FT4? Really similar protocol, same exchange. FT4 is twice as fast though. So it's, instead of 15 seconds, it's 7.5 seconds. So you can get a lot more quicker back and forth. So your queue rate is definitely faster on FT4, but a lot of folks prefer FT8. There generally is more FT8 traffic my experience is there's generally more FT8 traffic than FT4 traffic, but you can get a lot of QSOs in your log really fast on FT4 if there's folks up there. And it's usually a little less crowded than FT8 is too, so. Might have lost. Yeah, Whiskey 7 Romeo Lima Sierra grid tracker hasn't seen them for 90 seconds. And grid tracker will age them out of the call roster, I think, at 2 minutes. So if there's no transmit heard in 2 minutes, it'll roll them off the call roster. Looks like somebody came up on 2500. I'll slide up 2550. I don't want to step on anybody else. All right, let's let the CQ decode come through. Actually, I'm going to slide down to 1900. That looks open. Not a POTA, but Kilo Echo 8, Uniform Oscar Hotel. They're coming in at a -12 from West Virginia. We'll see if we can get them in the long. Hey, heard me? There's a response back. You can see the response back comes back in red in the receive frequency window. So you know if somebody came back. And you can set those colors. You can change them. I'm pretty much using the default colors. A little bit of extra shading with the API call into N3FJP's AC log, but for the most part, I'm using the out-of-the-box colors. But you can set those up however you want. All right, he heard me, gave me an RR73. I'll send back a 73. Add them to the log. So we got Ronnie in West Virginia in the log. Go up to 2250 on my transmit. Looks like somebody else is coming up on that. All right, see what else we got. There's a POTA. See if we can get Romeo Lima Sierra this time. Didn't have luck last time. Give it another try. Looks like Robert is in the Deer Flat National Wildlife Refuge, US 0276. I think it's Idaho. I don't think Robert can hear me. Try one more time. And there's many reasons for that on digital. I could be transmitting on a slot that I'm not hearing anybody on that slot, but somebody else could be on that slot that's stronger. So sometimes if you've tried a couple of times and not getting a response and the signal levels are pretty good, you can try another slot. So, hey, there we got him. Second try worked. Sometimes you got to kind of jump up and down a little bit because you don't know what the person on the other side is having for as far as their stations they're hearing and how their waterfall is occupied. So Robert heard me -13. I heard him -10. Oh, didn't get a response. Try a second time here. Coming up right at an hour on the live stream, so thanks for joining me. Just about to cross over into afternoon here in Kansas City. I'll try one more time. It might be a busted call. I haven't heard, Grid Tracker hasn't heard them for almost a minute 15, so something could have happened. I've tried 3 times. I'll stop my transmit here. If I get a decode, I can re-enable it, but this might be just a busted call or a busted QSO. Yeah, he's working another station now, which is fine. Like I said, most contesters or activators where you've got a bunch of folks, will maybe try, 2 or 3 times, and then they're on to the next. They got so many people calling them, they got to move on to the next one. So, all right, I got a CQ POTA Whiskey 9 Tango November Charlie coming in at -15. Calling CQ. Colorado. See if they heard me. Try again. I didn't get a response. Thanks for joining the live stream today. I'm Michael, Alpha Foxtrot 0 Foxtrot. We're over on the digital modes today. The bands are in rough condition. Big geomagnetic storm going on. Might be able to see the aurora down here in Kansas City tonight, which would be pretty cool. Handful of times in the last year or so that's happened. So high probability of the aurora tonight, if the skies are clear. Well, Whiskey 9 Tango November Charlie. I couldn't get a response. I tried 3 times there. I'll stop my transmit and just listen here for a second. See if I can get them in there. Thank you, Blake, for joining the live stream. Saying hello in the chat. If you're watching the live stream, pop in there. Let us know where you're joining from today. I have a lazy Sunday morning ham radio here. That's probably why you couldn't hear me. Somebody's on my transmit in the other time slot. Let me see if I can find another slot here. Maybe 2450. Looks fairly open. Yeah, somebody came up calling CQ. We'll try this Lewis and Clark Trail activator, W0ZRT. Get them. Why'd they show up again? That's weird. They showed up as an unworked grid square. I wonder if they're working multiple grid squares. DN97. Look at my grid tracker map here. Yep. Okay. Man, that was throwing me. W0ZRT looks like there's 2 different grid squares operating that call sign for the Lewis and Clark Trail, which is totally fine. I was just like, man, I've worked that station before. Why the heck are they showing up in an orange color? Which orange color is an unworked grid square. So, bizarro. That's right. I already have the 2 North Dakota stations for the Lewis and Clark on the air event, so I'm not gonna bother them again. All right, here's a pretty strong station. Kilo Mike 7 Alpha Charlie Quebec from Utah, calling CQ. We'll see if we can get back to them. Make the 900-mile hop. Somebody cropped up on my transmit frequency. Sometimes if the operator doesn't have that hold TX frequency and you're responding to them, they'll pop over to where you're transmitting. Kind of have to watch for that. Not sure if it's him or another station, because I don't see them on the time slot they were. So they might have come up to my time slot, or sorry, not time slot, frequency, the TX frequency. All right. Yep. He came into my time, or to my transmit frequency there at 2450. No problem. The thing that can happen if the other station is calling CQ and they don't have that hold TX frequency and they come up to your time slot and then the QSO finishes and they go back to calling CQ, then you're stepping on where somebody else had kind of set their transmit up. So it can create a little bit of confusion, but that's okay. As long as you're aware of what's happening. And I'm not calling CQ, so it's easy for me to move. So I will probably just slide up once this 73 transmits. If I see them call CQ where I was transmitting, I'll just slide up. I wasn't calling CQ, so not a problem. I don't mind giving up my TX slot. It's like 1900's open anyway, so. I'll slide up to 1900. I'll see if they call CQ and then. Yeah. See, now they're going to call CQ on that 2450. So no problem. But highly recommend if you're getting into these digital modes on WSJTX, select that hold TX frequency. That just creates way less confusion, especially if there's multiple stations calling CQ. Otherwise, their CQ is going to step on your CQ, but I'm not calling CQ, so I'm fine with moving. I don't have any issues with that, but I know some people do get frustrated by that. So not a problem. All right. Didn't get any CQs on that decode. There's a few. No POTAs or else Lewis and Clark. So let's just respond to Kilo Bravo 8 November Echo Victor. Let's see, I worked Richard before back in August on sideband in one of my POTA activations. They're coming in at +4 with band conditions today. That's pretty good. Yeah, you heard me, -5. We'll transmit back. See if we can get a two-way back and forth. Turn on the multi-view on the FTDX10 there. All right, got a Roger 73 back. I'll send a 73 and get them in the log. So thank you, Richard. Just over glancing real quick at the spotting page on the POTA site. There's a lot of people on FT8 today. That's probably going to make or break activations today with the band conditions the way they are. All right. We'll give one more decode here, see if we've got any more. POTAs. Yeah, there's Kent again. He's -24 now, so not any better signal strength on Kent. Let's see if we can get Robert. W0RLS. We tried him before. He came back once, and then we couldn't get a two-way back and forth, so I'll try him one more time. Or if that's a park. Is that a park I need? Whiskey 7 Romeo Lima Sierra 0276. I'm gonna check my hunter log. See if I have that park in there. Nope, that would be a new park for me. Well, it's not for a lack of trying to get to Robert today, but sometimes the band conditions are just not great to make it happen. And I've tried twice. I'm going to stop my transmit. See if I get anything back. Nope, no dice. All right, let's see what else we got. I might flip up to FT4. We'll see if there's any activity on FT4. Someone calling CQ Wyoming. Probably for this digital stream, I probably need to move my camera over to the monitor where I have this other stuff on. Not seeing the side of my face. All right, let's do that. Let's hop over to FT4. Let's see if there's anybody over on FT4. I'm going to clear the band activity and the RX frequency. Do hear some tones there. Hey, there's a POTA too. All right, I'm going to give this just a couple of cycles here to see what the state of the waterfall is. I don't want to step on top of somebody. All right, the two stations I can hear are POTAs, so we'll take that as a win. I'm going to take the CQ only filter off, so now I can see the back and forth of everything. Back on FT8, when it's so crowded, you really have to filter down that CQ only if you're trying to follow the band activity when there's just 100 some stations going back and forth. That's tough. All right, there's a CQ POTA. So Kilo 8 Delta Lima Delta. Be a new call sign for me. Haven't worked them before. Hey, they're hearing me +2. Yeah, definitely way less crowded here on FT4 than it was on FT8. And again, the difference between FT8 and FT4 is just the time slot is faster. So instead of 15-second exchanges, it's 7.5-second exchanges. So you can definitely make QSOs a lot quicker. All right, it's got that one in the log. Put in, he's a POTA. Park number US 1496 in Michigan. I'd like to get that other one. Looks like they're wrapping up a QSO. I'm waiting for that to wrap up. I'm gonna just pop over real quick and make sure my WRL log is still keeping up. Yes, it is. Good. There's some activity here, but you can tell it's a lot less crowded than it was over on FT8. Same band, twice as fast on the exchanges, but folks tend to prefer the FT8 for some reason. All right, so I have worked Dwight before. He's calling CQ. We'll see if we can get him. Kilo Delta Zero, Oscar India X-Ray. Worked him once before with my current call sign and once before my previous call sign. Dwight from Minnesota. Oh, he's hearing me really well. +12. Hearing him -9. Way up there in northern Minnesota. Love that country. So pretty up there. And I got an RR73. He's good. All right, I'm going to put his park number in here in my log. It's POTA. He's at 0360 in Minnesota. Okay, Kilo 4 Zulu X-ray. I'm hearing them, or did 2 minutes ago. Nope, they're going to fall out of my... Bummer, that was another... Yeah, they're falling out of the call list. Okay, bummer. That's all right, we got 2 parks here on FT4 on 20 meters. You can definitely compare the waterfall on FT4 from FT8. Definitely a lot more crowded generally on FT8. I like a slightly faster pace on FT4. You can 7.5 seconds back and forth. You can get a QSO done in half the time. Whether, let's see, is it PSK? Let's see, PSK reporter, not showing much. OAMS spotting is showing quite a few on FT4. Just not hearing a whole lot. A little bit of activity on 15 meters. We could certainly try 15. Let me check the spotting page. There's a couple folks on FT8 on 15 in parks. Some of the spots on 17 are a little old. There's one over on FT8 on 17 meters. Might be able to catch them. We can just take a trip through the bands and see if there's any other activators out there on other bands. I think FT4, other than those 2 parks, are going to be a bust here. Let's go back to FT8. Let's just jump down to 6 meters. I'm going to check the sporadic E reports. There was some 6 meter activity reported earlier. Yeah, 6 meters open in Europe. Let's see if we get anybody here. Checked earlier, there really wasn't anything. Can be kind of regional sometimes when that opens up, but it is the magic band for a reason. There has been activity on 6 meters in the past week or so. I've gotten several 6 meter contacts. So Arizona and Texas, I mean, certainly regional, but it's always fun to get some of those HF-like contacts on VHF. So I'm not seeing anything on my waterfall at all here on 6 meters. Which kind of matches up to what... Yeah, it doesn't look like Grid Tracker's reporting any PSK reporter or OAMS spots, so it's all right. Let's just work our way up. We'll go to 10 meters. I think I had a station I had a couple of South America stations yesterday that I heard on 10 meters. Oh boy, 10 even looks dead. This is gonna be a rough day on the bands. Probably a rough 24 or 48 hours after this big storm. Ooh, yeah, nothing on 10. Usually get 1 or 2. Look at my log yesterday. What did I get on 10 meters? Brazil. All right, we could try 12 meters. Usually you can tell, like, just by hearing tones on the radio. That's why I'll take my headphone jack out even on digital and just kind of keep the speaker light. You can tell pretty quick if you're hearing tones or not. FT8 and FT4 has a pretty distinct sound to it. Nope, nothing on 12 meters. All right, let's try 15. Ooh, I'm hearing some tone there. It's really light, whatever it is. Yeah, minus 18, minus 23. There is a POTA park at minus 12. Oh, in Missouri. 2382. Maybe we'll get them. Here in 5 stations, got Cuba coming in. Although minus 23, it's pretty light. There's a POTA. Let's respond to that POTA station here on 15. Whiskey Tango 2 X-Ray. In New York. Be a new call sign for me. Not worked them before. Boy, just a whole lot of static on the waterfall on the radio. Oh, he's not hearing me. There's just a lot of static. I can tell by just listening to the audio on the radio. It's a lot of atmospheric noise going on. Yeah. Can hear him in there. It's just really light. And there's only 5 or 6 that are better than minus 15. Let me try Tango X-Ray again, called CQ. I'm hearing him minus 13. I changed my transmit frequency. We'll see if we're able to snag them there. Could be just they have a lot of noise where I was transmitting. See an activity on that receive slot. Hey, November 2, Foxtrot Echo Tango. Good morning. Yes, the bands are terrible today. Big geomagnetic storm for sure. If you haven't checked out Ham Radio with N2FET, he's got a YouTube channel. Join his live streams every now and then. Worked him in my last POTA activation as well. That was a lot of fun to work you on voice, Francis. All right, we got a successful back and forth with Whiskey Tango 2 X-Ray in New York. Had to work for that one here on 15. But they are out there. I think digital is going to make or break POTA activations today. 5203 in New York. Perfect. Got them logged. See if we've got anybody else out there. Oh, somebody's coming. Ooh. Alpha Echo 1 November. Minus 19. I heard them. We'll see if they can hear me. New Hampshire. All right, he did hear me. He's hearing me minus 14. We're able to pull that one through. Worked them a couple times before. I think once. This is our third QSO. Once on, like once or twice on my old call sign, and then one on this call sign. See if we can snag a couple of these other POTA stations here. Definitely a little quieter here on 15 than 20 was. we go. Kilo 7 Romeo Delta Echo. Francis said, oh, you figured out your radio problem. That's awesome. Well, glad it was something simple and not something expensive. So no worries. That's part of this hobby. Number of times I've banged my head against the wall on something silly. Happens all the time. So don't feel bad about that at all. All right, we're trying for Kilo 7 Romeo Delta Echo right now. POTA activator in Arizona at US 4430. And we are on the 20 meter band. We spent most of this morning up on 20 meters. Had some luck up there. FT8 was pretty crowded. All right, I don't think they can hear me. I keep calling CQ, but they are not hearing me. It's all right. We'll see if they come back this time, and we'll go see. Ooh, that Canadian station is minus 24. That one's going to be tough. I don't think I'm going to be able to get them. They've completely disappeared on me. I don't even see their CQs anymore. Francis is asking how long I've been a ham for. Oh gosh, just over 30 years. I got my license when I was 13. I failed my first test at 12, but finally got my license at 13. And so yeah, just crossed 30-ish years. I think I just renewed my license for the third time. You have to renew them every 10 years, so it goes fast. It definitely goes fast, but it's been an awesome journey. I've enjoyed all the advancements and different things, and it's always new and interesting. So enjoy the hobby a lot. Boy, this has almost gone completely dark here on 15 meters. Oh, there's a few stations I hear. Boy, everybody's just kind of gone into the weeds here. All in the minus 20s. There's a few minus 15. Well, here's some tones now. Maybe it's coming back. All right, I saw Kilo India 4, Golf India Papa. Joseph in Texas. Coming in at minus 11, calling CQ. We'll go ahead and go back to them and see if we can get a QSO with them here on 15. Francis is trying for his extra class. That's awesome. I just got my extra. I've been licensed for years, and finally last year took the extra exam. So study hard and good luck. Once I got my extra, then I was able to apply for a vanity call sign, and I was trying to get a 1x2 or a 2x1, and after a few tries was able to snag a 2x1. So it was previously N0YMS, November 0 Yankee Mike Sierra, and got Alpha Foxtrot 0 Foxtrot when it came available. So happy I got that one. I tried for several before that, but it's can only apply on the day they become available, and I think the first couple I applied for, you know, there's 10 or 20 people that applied for it the same day. And at that point, it becomes a random draw after the wait period. So, but yeah, I was the only one to apply on the day it was open for AF0F. And then there was several people that applied for it after it opened up, like a day or two after. But first one on the day it's available that was pretty awesome. Kind of lucked out on that one. It's a great call sign. Definitely a lot easier for contesting and things too. When you're doing DX and in high Q rate contests, November 0 Yankee Mike Sierra was kind of hard to get out, so I can do Alpha Fox 0 Fox pretty fast. So definitely a little shorter in the phonetic wait on that call sign. So awesome. Well, good luck on your extra class exam there, Francis, and good luck to you. Lots of great resources out there too to help quiz you and get you exam ready. Boy, I don't know. I think I'm gonna call 15. Let's try 17 here. Ooh, I'm hearing some tones here on 17. I saw a couple POTA stations spotted. Let's see what the waterfall looks like here. I see some CQs here. No POTAs, but I want to make sure my transmit frequency here is clear. Let a few cycles come through. We're hearing 11 stations on 17 meter FT8. Let's go Alpha Charlie 8 Romeo Juliet in Ohio. New call sign for me, not worked them before. Looks like it's Donald in Ohio. Most of the QSOs today have been short regional hops with the band conditions, so it's okay. We'll still get some folks in the log. I was over on voice on, you heard me good. Over on voice on 20 meters earlier, and while there were tons of POTA stations spotted, I couldn't hear anybody. It was just a mess of static. I could hear one way down in the noise. There had been no way we could have gotten an exchange through, so came over here to do digital. I said it before in the live stream. I think digital is going to make or break POTA activations today, just with the band conditions. I'll see if we try again here for Alpha Charlie 8 Romeo Juliet. Thank you, Francis. Appreciate that. Oh man, I may have to change my transmit frequency here. He's dropped down to minus 23 for me, so this may be a busted QSO here if we can't get a back and forth. Thank you, Francis, for the shout out on your Discord channel. Always love having new folks discover the channel. Pretty laid back, low key here. We have fun. This is my first time I've streamed kind of working digital. Most of the time I'm working voice. But with the band conditions today, we had to set up a digital stream today. Yep, I think we busted out on AC8RJ. Just lost him in the noise. Well, we gave it a go. A few other folks calling CQ. Let's see if we can get some strong stations here. After spending some time up on 20 meters earlier, we've been kind of popping around on some of these other bands just to see if there's any activity there. There's a Kilo Oscar 1 Kilo, Rhode Island, coming in at a -8. See if they can hear me. Making the 1,300-mile hop. Yeah, Francis, I agree with you. I prefer voice as well. I definitely like that. I like connecting with folks on the voice portions. That's definitely my preferred. Most of my stream archive here is me doing contesting or POTA hunting on sideband, so that's definitely my preferred as well. All right, we got one exchange from Kilo Oscar 1 Kilo in Rhode Island. See if he gets my return. Oh, he faded on me. He's hearing me -9 dB. I'm hearing him -13. Just need to get an RR back and then. Hey, there it is. All right, took twice, but we got it. All right, I'll send him a 73 back, and we got an FT8 contact on 17 meters this morning. I think there were a few others that were calling CQ. We'll see if there's anybody that's got a strong signal. Handful of folks on here. All right, let's try November 2, Lima Echo Echo. New call sign for me. Lee in Florida. He's -15. We'll see if he can hear me at all. If you're joining the live stream, thanks for joining the Sunday live stream here, Heartland Ham Radio. I'm Michael, Alpha Foxtrot 0 Foxtrot. Love you to pop into the chat, say hello, let us know where you're tuning in from. And if you're watching the stream after we're live, love you to leave a comment down below. Let us know where you tuned in from. Normally I'd be doing voice, but band conditions are a little rough today on voice, so we popped over and decided to do a digital live stream. So that's what we're doing this morning. I don't think November 2 Lima Echo Echo is going to hear me. Tried twice. I'll stop my transmit and I'll see if I see them pop up again. I hear some tones in there that sound fairly strong. Let's try Kilo Lima 7 Yankee Kilo. Ron in Texas. Strong. He's +7 dB. See how well he hears me. He's calling CQ, but he's not hearing me. It's okay. That's the way the band is going today. I think there were a few POTA parks spotted here. Let me just check the spotting page here. Yeah, no, none. Oh, there's Lima Echo Echo. He did hear me. Ooh, -23. We'll see. We'll see if we can get a two-way on this one. We'll see. We'll see. No, he called CQ, so he gave up on me. That's okay. That's the way the band conditions are going today. I am not going to feel bad about that today. A few more stations popped up here in the last refresh. 17 is a little up and down. That's all right. Let me pop back up here to 20 meters and see what's going on there. See if we got any new stations. Well, the grid tracker map is certainly well populated with 20-meter POTA parks all over the US here. See how many we can hear. I'm going to filter this to CQ only. I could just tell there's tons of activity here. That it's going to be pretty chatty. Folks calling CQ. Someone calling CQ Arkansas. Worked both those POTA. Oh, there's Kent. Kilo 7, Charlie Alpha Romeo. Tried them on a different band earlier and was like down in the minus 20s, so that was a little rough. See if we can get him here on 20 meters. This would be my 66th QSO with Kent. And he is always in a park. Mostly work them digital. Ah, there he goes. He hears me minus 3 here on 20 meters. That's great. I did have the privilege of working Kent on SSB on field day last year. So I was like, I heard him come back, Kilo 7 Charlie Alpha Romeo. I was like, oh my gosh, I know that call sign. 99% of my contacts have been digital with Kent. Good deal. Got a QSO with Kent. 66 contact with Kent. All right, I'll log him. He's POTA. He's in Park 4395 in Utah. And Kent is frequently off the grid, so he uploads a ton of logs when he gets connectivity back, but definitely very, very active in the POTA scene. It's kind of a legend. One of the well-known folks. I'm going to slide my TX up here a little bit. 1850. Nope, somebody came up there. Let's see. Maybe slide in here at 1700. There's another POTA up there. Kilo 9 Papa Mike at minus 5. That'd be a new grid square for me too. Let's see if we can see, he's at 2253. I'm just going to manually change my receive to 2253. Let's just sit there and kind of park there and see if he's working somebody. Nice strong signal. I'd like to get them in the log. We'll see. Yeah, if you're tuning in, definitely say hi in the chat. Let us know where you're tuning in from today. Boy, they completely disappeared. Kilo 9 Papa Mike. It's all right. It's the way the band is going. Slide up my... There's Kilo Papa Golf. That's a POTA. We're at 1024. Let me change my receive to 1024. We'll just park there and see if we can get them in the log. Somebody came up where I was parked for my transmit. Slide up here to 2500. Looks open. Ah, there we go. November 5, Papa Yankee Yankee. They're from Pennsylvania, but they are in a park in the south somewhere. Which park are they in? In a national wildlife refuge. The grid square is down in the south, though, so we'll see. See how well they hear me. They're minus 8. That should be doable. He called CQ again. Didn't hear me. Well, bummer. Try one more time here. Could be somebody else is transmitting on 2500 that I can't hear, so Usually after a couple times, we'll try a different slot or just stop the transmit. We'll see if he comes back. He's working another station. All right, 73 Francis, thanks for popping in this afternoon. Have a great afternoon, and we'll catch you on some one of your live streams here shortly. So take care. Have a great weekend. We'll give a couple try, and then I think we may wrap up the stream. I'm coming up on 2 hours. Go grab some lunch. I think 20 meters FT8 is where it's at today. I've said it before. This is going to make or break activations, I think, today if you're working digital. Somebody's really strong and blasting at 23:30. Yeah. See if I can catch November 5 Papa Yankee Yankee. Heard them calling CQ again. All right. See if we can get a couple more in the log here before we wrap up the live stream. Yeah, he's still calling CQ. He can't hear me, so it's okay. It's the way the bands are going today. All right. Slide down here a little bit. Maybe 1700. Looks open. I'd like to get a couple more POTA parks in the log today before I sign off. Hats off to folks that are in the parks today with the bands. That is not an easy activation today, I'm sure. I'm having to pop all over the place here for a transmit, clear transmit frequency for FT8. Let's try November 3 Tango Tango Tango. Adam in Delaware, calling CQ POTA. He's not spotted, so I don't know what park they're in. See if by chance he can hear me. No. We'll try one more time. It'll be a new activator for me too. I don't have November 3 Tango 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 in my log at all. If you got any questions on the live stream setup, put it in the chat. I'll be happy to answer any questions. We had some questions earlier about the antennas that I operate with. Oh yeah, he dropped to -20, so there was probably no way I could get them. All right, Whiskey Foxtrot 1 Bravo is fairly strong, -6 at 938. Let's see if get another CQ from them. Well, the map is active here on, let's see, grid tracker showing 148 stations heard. So there's definitely activity out there. And you can see all the parks on the map where there's POTA activators that are spotted. It'll only put the spotted icons on there. No dice. Whiskey Foxtrot 1 Bravo was really strong. I seem to have lost them. That's all right. All right, let's do one more POTA station. Let's get one more POTA in the log before we wrap up the live stream today. Help out those activators. Got a few spotted. I'm hearing quite a few spotted. I'm hearing a handful. We'll watch for a CQ POTA. I've already worked that one. Kilo Foxtrot 8, Bravo Romeo Charlie. I worked them earlier today. Come on, let's get another CQ POTA. I think I had OAX earlier today too. Yeah, 20 meters. Oh, I had him on FT4. It'd be a different mode, but it's okay. WDK already. See if we can get another one at a park we haven't made contact with yet. Hey, Daniel. Appreciate you saying happy Sunday. Thanks for joining the live stream. November 1, Charlie, Charlie, Charlie. Daniel, I saw you spotted at the World War I park yesterday, and I couldn't hear you, not even ground wave. So I tried. I could hear tons of other stations calling you. I saw your map you plotted, but I could not even hear you ground wave yesterday. So glad you got out there, though. I was working around the house here, so I didn't get to a park yesterday. Appreciate you popping into the live stream. Check out Daniel's QRZ page. He's got a great setup and a frequent activator in the parks. He's got tons and tons of activations, so wealth of experience and information in operating in a park. I'm gonna take a peek, see how many spotted on SSB. I mean, there's still some folks spotted on sideband, although the spot page was fuller earlier, but I couldn't hear anybody. I mean, there was maybe one I could hear just way down in the noise. There'd been no way we could have gotten a two-way back and forth on voice. So I came over to digital today. And been hunting some folks. So been doing POTA, a little bit of Lewis and Clark trails on the air. We got both North Dakota stations earlier, so that was fun. Don't get North Dakota too often here from Kansas City. Got them both on digital. All right, come on. Let's find another POTA before we wrap up the stream today. I'm gonna help somebody out. Let's get one more Parks on the Air activator before we wrap it up today. May just have to pick one of these other folks calling CQ. There's a POTA. Oh, he's weak. Let's try it. Number 5, Papa Yankee Yankee. We tried earlier and didn't have any luck, but we'll see. Maybe we can get him this time. Be a new activator for me. Don't have them in the log. Come on, come on. Yeah, he's still calling CQ. Try one more time. Find another TX frequency here. Maybe 900 hertz. Slide down there quick. That's the way these bands are going to go today. Yep, he's working another station. He did not hear me. Oh, there's one. November Oscar 0 X-ray. Minnesota or North Dakota grid square. Not spotted, but calling CQ POTA. It's okay. We don't need to know the park. Lots of parks are don't have cellular coverage, so you can't always be spotted. Let's see if we can get, looks like Todd from Minnesota in the log. He'd be a new activator for me too. I don't have him in my log at all. Usually give it 2 tries here. Receiving something. Yep. Oh, he's working another station. We'll wait till he calls CQ so we can get him again. He was -1. That's actually not terrible today, so should be able to do that. Oh, somebody's on my transmit. I'm going to have to find another slot. Let's see. Let's try 2200. We'll see here. See if we get a good decode here. It's like another station calling on his transmit frequency. I mentioned it earlier in the log. If you're just getting started with WSJTX, that hold TX frequency is not a default. And it's really helpful if you have that checked. If you got 2 stations that are calling CQ and then you end up on the same transmit slot, and then you're just stepping on each other. All right, let's try Whiskey Foxtrot 1 Bravo, calling CQ POTA. Got him at -9. Raymond from Florida. He'd be a new activator for me too. I don't have him in the log either. We'll see what we get here. See if they can hear me. Yep, he's working another station. Give it a second here and see if he wraps that one up. Heard him -11 on that other station, going back to that other station, so it should be doable. Looks like there's a couple other stations on his transmit frequency too. Okay, there he sent RR73. So this would be the exchange, or the other station would say 73, then the next one should be a CQ for him, or coming back to a station if you heard others. Love to get November 5 Papa Yankee Yankee. I've tried a couple of times, just they cannot hear me. Be a new grid square for me too. All right, there's a CQ POTA. Let's see if we can get him this time. Whiskey Foxtrot 1 Bravo. Take a peek at their QRZ page. Nice thing about digital is you have a little bit of downtime between the exchanges, so I go. Looks like Ray from Parrish, Florida. Also a POTA. 79 activations in 24 parks. So active POTA participant. All right, he heard me. See if we can get a 2-way exchange here. I think Ray is going to be the one that wraps up the live stream today. Wanted to get one more POTA park in, help out an activator in a park before we wrapped it up for the day. We'll say for the duration of this live stream, I think FT8 on 20 meters was the winning band and mode for sure. We poked around on some others, but all right, got an RR73 back. We'll send a 73. And we got them in the log. All right. Thanks, Ray. Good luck on your activation today. Get his park number in here. 1916, US, Florida. All right, got him in the log. Okay, I think with that, we may wind down the stream today. Let's see if there's any others in here quick. Somebody came up on my transmit. Let me see if I can find another slot here. 2000. Any other POTAs? Worked that one earlier. ZRT, I worked for the Lewis and Clark. Pretty weak. Pretty weak. Okay, I think with that, we're going to go ahead and wrap it up. So thank you so much for joining me today. A little over 2 hours, or right at 2 hours for the live stream today. This is the first time I've done a digital live stream, but was fun. I do enjoy the digital modes, and it was glad we came up with kind of a view here to kind of show you some of the screens that I have up. So I appreciate you joining. So it's been a lot of fun. I appreciate everybody participating in the chat today. That was a lot of fun. Just want to thank the awesome community for tuning in and supporting me here in the live stream. I'm just dinking around, having some fun. I'm glad you could hop in and join with me and enjoy the content. If you've got any questions or there's something you want to see, anything you want to know about my setup, don't hesitate to reach out. Put a comment in the YouTube video, or I'm good on QRZ as well. If you want to send me an email, I'm happy to take questions that way too. I've certainly gotten post-stream questions via email. Happy to do that as well. If you're not subscribed to the channel, I'd love you to hit that subscribe button, and so you're not missing out on any live streams or video updates that we do here. So I appreciate the spending a little bit of your Sunday with me here. And with that, we'll say 73. So thanks for joining me, and have a good rest of your weekend, and we hope to catch you on the air again. I'm Michael, Alpha Foxtrot, 0 Foxtrot for Heartland Ham Radio. Have a great rest of your Sunday, 73.